guys, I just returned from my local field where I was doing some FPV race drone flying. And it gave me an idea while I was out there because Monday to Fridays I work in an office and I have about 2 hours of time to me where I go and do my drone stuff. Well, 90% of the time I'm always doing drone stuff when it's nice, and it's usually always FPV drone racing because I love it so much. I've been doing it for about a year and a half and I suck at it. But I'm going to tell you, it's super exhilarating, and I'm going to try to explain as fast as I can why it's so amazing. And the way I'm going to explain it is just to compare it quickly with DJI, Yuneec, Autel, those companies that make camera drones. Now, we all know that a camera drone is a drone that has a camera on it that shoots at 4K or anything lower, and you take great video of a subject that's moving or standing stationary. And you fly those drones and they stay perfectly still in the air because they have a GPS built in and a barometer, and they do all that great stuff. And these race drones take the worst possible image ever because the camera in them, take a look at the front. This camera right here is the camera that is used for the pilot to see. So in here, this is actually a camera that you would find on your car, the backup camera that's in the back of your car. It's pretty much the same camera. So this camera here shoots an analog signal out this antenna, and then you put these FPV race goggles on and you receive it, and there's no latency. It's like immediate. It is so fast, the signal, but it's analog and it's really low resolution. But, you know, you get used to it, and inside these goggles, it's pretty decent. You can make out an awful lot of minute details and fly around things. And you have to, because these things will easily fly over 100 kilometers an hour, which is way over 60, 70 miles per hour. And that's just on a normal day. You can make them go faster just by pumping more power into them, playing with the props and everything. Now, even though these cameras in the front here that the pilot uses to fly are not that great, you're capturing video on whatever camera you stick on top. So in my case, I use GoPro camera, so I get GoPro image quality. And I will say one thing about FPV race drones. You can capture video on an FPV race drone that you cannot capture on a camera drone. Camera drones will fly and either follow an object, or an object will be stationary and you can go around that stationary object. On a race quad, you can capture video exactly the same way, plus an additional capturing of video, which is, if you have an object that's moving at, let's say, 40 miles per hour, on a race quad, you can actually fly around that object as it's moving at 40 kilometers an hour and film it from different angles really fast, all in quick speed. You can fly over it, around it, under it, anything you want. The sky's the limit. It's totally up to the camera person. Quads can stop on a dime, from going from 100 kilometers an hour to 0, like on a dime. So you have a system here that's shooting out the video to your FPV goggles that you can see exactly what's going on. And you also have a radio controller. And on the back is where you put your little receiver. So my receiver here, you can see it right here, it's just this tiny little box. But unlike camera drones like DJI, Yuneec, and that, you don't need one receiver per drone. You could have one receiver and 250 drones if you want, or more. The sky's the limit. So because I have one brand of receiver here, it means my radio must also be that brand for the most part. So it means every quad I have in this room, there's probably about 10 different race quads, they all have a Spectrum receiver. If I change this to another brand name, then I would have to change the receivers in all my race quads. So this is all to say that a year and a half ago, I was flying camera drones all the time. That's all I ever flew. And then a year and a half ago, I started on FPV race drones. And like I say, I suck. I've been smashing them ever since, but I'm having so much fun that I wouldn't give it up. If I had to give up all my drones, the ones I would not give up would be the FPV race drones because it's a blast. Unfortunately, unless you're standing beside me and you could see these friggin' race drones flying, or I could give you a pair of goggles and you could watch while I'm flying, you'll just never get the experience. What I'll try to do is next time I head out to the field, which is probably in another few hours or tomorrow, I'll bring along a camera and I'll try to show you how exhilarating it is to fly with these little FPV race drones. Should be a blast. And now something interesting to show you. Check this out. This is my backup camera right here. This thing here. And it's pretty much the same camera as on my FPV drone. But this camera, I had that replaced because water got in it and it cost me $550. It was $250 for the actual camera and $300 for labor. You know how much these cameras cost? These cameras cost about $25. Yep. And it's an early cold morning. Why do I always get the cold mornings? Here I am in Canada and it's just a chilly morning. It's not very warm this morning. Anyways, I'm up early. I'm half asleep because it was a late night of drinking, but I'm here. So anyways, I'm on a football field. Check this out. So I'm gonna fly an FPV drone on this football field, and I've got my gear behind me right back there, and I've got my little drone set up there. And here we go. All right, first thing I need to get going is a battery. I keep here in my little ammo box. I got a LiPo bag in there. I'll just grab a nice battery here and we're all set. All right, we'll just connect the battery, get this going. Man, this is not gonna be a good flight because I am freezing out here. Let's get some heat from the motors. Yeah, these motors don't give off too much heat. All right, that's powered up. My transmitter's on, so I have, it's going to connect automatically to the transmitter, so the props won't start automatically, which would be kind of dangerous for my fingers. It is kind of weird how you have these drones and you attach a battery just with Velcro straps. Nothing like the DJI camera drones, whatnot, where you slide them in. That's the difference. But you can put any size of battery on here as long as you can fit it somehow on the bottom, on the top, and that's basically it. So it's all ready to fly. You can change your light colors to anything. I like the purple color. And we're all good to go. Start my GoPro. We have the GoPro looking at the camera, looking at me. And we're all set to go. All right, so this is going to be nothing exciting because my hands are freezing. Oh my God. It's a little too cold out here for me to do anything. So with my hands being numb, I'm not going to do anything too crazy. So I'm going to keep it simple. And there's not a lot of light out here, but there's enough to fly. All right, we're all set to go. So right now what I'm going to show you on the screen is you should see something that says Immersion RC Vortex 230. That's just the model of FPV I'm flying. This is called an OSD, on-screen display. And here it tells me my battery voltage, all the good stuff that I should know before I'm about to take off, my frequency, how I'm connected, all this good stuff. And then when I power it on, now we're all set to go. I'm in front of the drone, so I'm going to lift off. I'm going to try to fly it really slow so you can see me. So there. Where did I aim this? Wrong way. I've got it aiming the wrong way. Hang on a second. There I am. I'm over there. All right. So I'll bring it back to me. So here I am, over here. And here we have some trees. I'll just go through those. So now, geez, my hands are cold. So what I'll do is I'll show you. So you can fly nice and low to the ground. I'm just going slow right now. So I am. Go nice and slow beside me. So for an FPV drone, this is considered slow. I'm holding back the throttle and I'm controlling it. And you see I have all the axes. I can move this way. I can bank it to any side. I can bank it up, I can bank it down, any way you wish. Now my flight range is not as much as that of a DJI drone. It's much, much, much less. You can fly through things. Anything you see I just bank it so I make sure I get through that without hitting any bars. The flight range is about 2 football fields, and that's basically what I have here. I've got 2 football fields worth of space. So I can fly around things. If I want to go and look at something, like say I want to look at that up there in the air, I just punch it. But you see, it really gains height way too fast. So now I got to come down and look at that. But I can bank around it. So that could be moving. I'll just come down to its level. And I can film it, looking around it. I can rotate around it. Get a good shot, the lights. And then when I'm finished with that, you can go dive bomb something. So if I want to dive down, this is where you pick up tons of speed. So now I'm starting to get some speed here. And you see I can really jump around this field really quick. And you just hear it screaming. That's all the power going into the props. Now the fun thing to do on these FPV drones is to follow, just follow a path, like here, this fence. Follow the fence along here, and then you just stay away from objects. I'm just going up and down. It's so responsive. You can just, anything you see, you can go over, under, whatever you want to do. Like trees here. Oh, there's me. So now I'll just stop really quick. There I am. And now I'm going to go through these trees behind me. Real easy. These are really large holes for FPV drones. You can spin around, come down another one. Make sure I don't hit my head. And there's even a little path it looks like there, so let's go find this path. This field, I have to say, I've never flown on it before. I'm flying on this one because someone's usually playing a soccer game on my other field. That countdown is my battery. So that means my 3 minutes are up. So it means I've got to come and land. So I'll just bring it down here for landing. So there's my pad. So here I'll bring it nice and slow so you can catch me coming in for a nice soft landing on that pad. Now, I can't see like a DJI drone to get a nice landing and get it to balance, so right now I'm feathering the throttle and I hit the ground. I'll come over as close as I can to that pad. I can't see anything. Close enough. And here on the screen you see my flight summary. This shows how much power I used, the maximum amount of time, all this other good stuff right there. Alright, it's too cold to fly quads anymore, so I'm over here with Norm, and he's got his RC planes out, and this one is really cool. So Norm, this, I don't see a prop on it. Where's the friggin' motor in this thing?
No, it's an EDF, a ducted fan unit.
Yeah.
So if you look up the tail end, you'll see the fan unit inside there.
Oh, okay. Ah.
And I also have a thrust light on it.
So what is
an afterburner light?
Are you serious?
In the tail,
oh,
that
I
ring.
see that. Yes, yes, yes. You can see
So
that.
when you fire it up, when you give it power, the afterburner changes colors as per how much throttle you're giving it.
Yeah.
And I've lined the tail end with aluminum.
Yeah.
So as it's going through the sky, it lights up even more because it reflects off the aluminum. So even in daylight, it looks like an afterburner going across.
That is pretty amazing. And that plane there, I just asked Norm how fast it goes. Norm, how fast it go?
Oh, about 100 miles an hour.
That's miles per hour, not kilometers like my little drone. That's like miles per hour. Yikes. Oh, it's so freaking cold out here. All right, so I am going to end this video because I'm going to go home and warm up my hands. I've got them in my pockets to try to keep them warm. It's too cold for flying a drone today. And the guys who would normally fly the RC airplanes are not here. It's much too cold. Maybe on another day. Anyways, I'm going to end this video for FPV. I'll just throw in some segments of FPV flying from warmer days at the end of this right after here, and trail off into nothingness. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, and I'll catch you in the future in more videos with much more drone content. For now, I'm going home to get warm. Take care.